Alright, it's time to practice solving a system of two equations and two variables by hand using the idea of inverse matrices. So the first thing we need to do is take our system, and this is the one that we used in class on Monday the 26th. We need to turn it into matrix form. So the first thing I do is I write my left-hand side matrix. So I have 3x and 4y and 1x minus 2y. I'm going to multiply that by my variable matrix, x and y, and that's got to be equal to my right-hand side, which we call b, and that is my 10 and negative 10. And again, all this is doing is taking this system of equations and turning it into a product of matrices. So if I were to multiply row 1 times column 1, I'd have 3x plus 4y is equal to 10. 1x minus 2y is equal to negative 10. Now, what we've looked at in class is the fact that I can solve for the variable matrix by finding the product of the inverse of matrix A multiplied by B. So the first thing I need to do is find the inverse of matrix A. And we know that the inverse of matrix A is going to be equal to 1 over the determinant of A multiplied by, I switch the A and the D, and I take the opposites of B and the C. So, determinant of A is 1 over 3 times negative 2, which is negative 6, minus 1 times 4, so minus 4, multiplied by, switch the A and the D, this is going to be negative 2, positive 3, and take the opposites of A and B. This is 1 over negative 10, and I go ahead and multiply. So I've got negative 1/10 times negative 2 is going to be positive 2/10, or 0.2. Negative 1/10 times negative 4 is positive 4/10, or positive 0.4. Negative 1/10 times negative 1 is positive 0.1. And then negative 1/10 times positive 3 is a negative 0.3. And that is my A inverse. So now I go back to here and I see that I want to find the product of the inverse of A multiplied by B, which is 0.2, 0.4, 0.1, negative 0.3, multiplied by B, which is 10, negative 10. I have a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 1, which gives me a 2 by 1, and now I go ahead and do my multiplication. 0.2 times 10 is 2, plus 0.4 times negative 10, so 2 and negative 4 gives me negative 2. Then 0.1 times 10 is 1, plus negative 0.3 times negative 10 is positive 3, so 1 plus 3 is positive 4. This tells me that x is equal to negative 2 and y is equal to 4. And if I really want to check, I go back and substitute into my original equations, and I can verify that with these values of x and y, 3x plus 4y is 10, and x minus 2y is negative 10. So again, we can use inverse matrices by making sure we can successfully find the inverse of A using the determinant and the process we know for finding an inverse, and then finding the product of the inverse of A multiplied by matrix B, and that gives us our variable matrix, which we can then use to identify the value of each variable. Hope that helped out.